Aloha everyone, what is going on my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape news coverage video. For this video we're going to talk about the Glacor Front once again, this time looking at the various different rewards to come with it. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. Let's go.
Cats is the illest. What you talking about, Willis?
Alright guys, this is all information coming from the latest news post, but the aim of this video is to go over all the rewards, what they do, how you get them, what they are exactly, etc. So, by the end of this video, hopefully, in conjunction with my previous video regarding the Glacor Front, you should be fully prepared for it on Tuesday's launch day. So, to get started, for pretty much all the rewards in the Glacor Front, they need to be crafted with various different materials found from different drop sources in the Glacor Front. There are 4 different crafting materials in order to make the various different rewards, and we're going to get started on that. The most common ingredient is the Glacor Remnant. You're going to get these from the Glace sites and Glacors outside of the battlefield, not part of the main boss fights, but yeah, since these are the most common, they're the most abundant, you're going to be needing thousands of these to craft everything on offer from the Glacor Front. The next ingredient we have Dark Nylas or Dark Nilas. I'm just going to call them Nylas for the remainder of this video. These are not so common ingredient, but needed for a variety of things. You're only going to need a handful of these as opposed to the thousands you'll need for Glacor Remnants. Not super common, but not particularly very rare either. And next up, we are jumping into more rare territory. We have the Frozen Core of Lang. This is something that can only be gotten from hard mode and is used to upgrade the tier 85 weapons that you'll make to tier 95 weapons. Once again, those Frozen Cores of Lang only available in hard mode. The final ingredient is a Lang artifact. While not as rare as the previous item, this is an item that is used to upgrade something we'll talk about a little later in the video, but is only available from normal mode if you have 5 mechanics turned on or hard mode. So once again, Lang artifacts only available through normal mode, 5 mechanics, or hard mode. Now let's talk about exactly what those are going to make. Starting off, we have the new tier 85 weapons. These are a main hand sword and an offhand dagger. They have tier 85 damage and accuracy. The Dark Ice Shard is the name of your tier 85 main hand. For the main hand sword, you're going to need 2.5k Glacor Remnants, 5 Dark Nylas, 10 Blackstone Hearts, and 2 Glorious Barbs. It does have a set effect with the offhand dagger, in that when you have both of the weapons wielded, the melee abilities Hurricane and Destroy will no longer share a cooldown. The offhand variant, the dagger, the Dark Ice Sliver, also has tier 85 damage and accuracy, and will require the exact same ingredients in the exact same amounts as the main hand. However, it does have a passive effect that when worn, the melee ability Hurricane can be cast while dual wielding. This is something usually locked behind two-handed weapons only. Next up, taking a look at the tier 95 weapons, the upgraded versions of these two weapons, we have the main hand sword, the Dark Shard of Lang, tier 95 damage, tier 95 accuracy, will require 7,500 Glacor Remnants, 10 Dark Nylas, the level 85 variant, and 1 Frozen Core of Lang, dropped only from hard mode. The new special attack with this weapon is called Icy Tempest, costing 20% adrenaline. You will imbue your weapons with the power of Primordial Ice. For 30 seconds, your damage cap is increased by 30%. This attack has a cooldown of 60 seconds. This also shares the same effect as the tier 85s in that having both of them allows you to do Hurricane and Destroy without having a cooldown penalty. The tier 95 offhand, the Dark Sliver of Lang, also tier 95 damage, also tier 95 accuracy, is a dagger and requires the same ingredients as the main hand as you would expect, with no additional benefits in terms of passives or anything like that, bar the ones we've already talked about. Next up, we have upgrades to all of your tier 85 style specific gloves. First off, we have the enhanced Nightmare Gauntlets. This will boost the gauntlets to tier 90, retaining its same effect as before, but requiring 1,000 Glacor Remnants, a Lang artifact, an ingredient I mentioned at the beginning of the video, only available if you're doing regular mode with 5 mechanics or in hard mode, and Nightmare Gauntlets. The enhanced Gloves of Passage increase the stats to tier 90 but get a new effect, Enduring Ruin. After Havoc or Smash is successfully hit, your next attack within 6 seconds will deal 10% increased damage, and the target takes 20% increased damage from bleeds for 10 seconds. Remnants. Requirements to make this is 1,000 Glacor Remnants, 10 Necronium Bars, a Lang Artifact, and the Gloves of Passage. Finally, we have the Enhanced Carapac Wrist Wraps. These are just a tier 90 upgrade with no change to the current effect, requiring 1,000 Glacor Remnants, a Lang Artifact, and the Carapac Wrist Wraps. Moving on, while not as exciting as what we talked about already, it's still worth discussing the cosmetic rewards. We got the Glacor Adornment for 1,000 Glacor Remnants and 2 Nylas, the Arc Glacor Adornment, 5k Remnants and 5 Nylas. And finally, we have the Glacor Adornment for 10k Glacor Remnants and 10 Nylas. Again, these are just cosmetic wings. Make them if you want, if you care about the style, but nothing more than just aesthetics. So take it for what it is. Next up, briefly mentioning, we have the boss pet, Gladys. Nothing new to say about this, but just worth mentioning. Looking really cool though. Finally, we have the Scripture of Wen. As we've been told previously, there's going to be a new god book for every faction or every front in the Elder God Wars, so now we know exactly what Wen's book does. It will provide you with +5 prayer and +8 to all combat styles, and its special ability is Sheer Cold. Each attack has a chance to summon an icy beam for 3.6 seconds that attacks anything standing in it. Once the target has been hit 5 times with the beam, they will shatter for 400% ability damage. This book can only be acquired from the Arch Glacor, regular mode, or hard mode. However, the pages can be dropped by enemies on the Glacor front, so any of the Glacites or the Glacors dotted around in the area. Do note that there is no illuminated version of the God book. And that is all you really need to know. Once again, the Glacor front's coming out next Tuesday, August 31st. And now, hopefully, with my previous video, you have everything you need to get started and be prepared for what is to come next week. With that, I'm going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I'm out. Aloha.